Well, how fitting is it that a Forge takes front and center stage in a battle between two Steel City-based teams? Birmingham Legion FC at home for one final time in 2019, hosting what could be the #1 seed, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. What a lovely shot of BBVA Field on the south side of the Magic City, downtown Birmingham, Alabama. One final regular season showdown awaits Birmingham Legion FC as they get ready to host Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC on this Sunday afternoon, a special Sunday afternoon as we close out 2019. Welcome into our broadcast booth, everybody. Blake Gardner joined by Mike Getman. Excited to have you with us one final time here in the regular season. Mike, playoffs just around the corner, and today goes a long way towards deciding what seed Pittsburgh and Birmingham both will be.
This should be a really fun match. Both teams know they're in the playoffs. Birmingham can enjoy the day a little bit. Pittsburgh's still fighting for that #1 seed, and so they're certainly going to work hard today. Should be two attacking teams having a really good match.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings coming into play this afternoon. The UC Nashville SC took care of business against Atlanta United 2 yesterday, so they currently hold that #1 slot, but Pittsburgh Riverhounds, with a win today and a full 3 points against Birmingham Legion, can clinch that #1 seed and home field advantage throughout the USL Eastern Conference playoffs. Birmingham Legion, meanwhile, in that 10th spot, are assured a spot in the play-in games this Wednesday. Whether they're the 9 or the 10 seed determines their result on this Sunday afternoon. So still a little bit of movement left in the Eastern Conference standings that'll be determined by today. And as we get a look at our impact players on this Sunday afternoon, Mike, let's start with Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Steven Dos Santos has been a force up top.
He's a really big man, but he's tremendously skillful, scores lots of goals, sets up lots of goals. He's the real centerpiece of their attack.
Dos Santos had a big game last time these two teams met up in Pittsburgh, but granted, Dos Santos has had plenty of big games as well. Double-digit scoring year in 2019 for Dos Santos. On the other side, Birmingham Legion FC led offensively by Prosper Kasim, who found the back of the net once again last time out.
Prosper has scored a lot of great goals throughout the season. Scored the first goal of the year. He scored the first game-winning goal of the year. He scored the last goal, which turned out to be the winner against New York that sealed the playoff spot for this Legion FC side. He's going to be a big part of the attack again tonight.
A 3-time Team of the Week honoree in the USL Championship. His 50 chances created so far this year are a Birmingham Legion FC high. Well, the celebration over a clinch playoff spot has already begun for the Legion supporters here, but Pittsburgh still have plenty to play for with the #1 seed in the East hanging in the balance. It's the final regular season kickoff of 2019, and it comes your way next.
BBVA, transforming banking to put the world's opportunities in your hands. BBVA Compass is now BBVA, creating opportunities.
Coors Light is cold filtered for brightness and clarity. The world's most refreshing beer, Coors Light.
Welcome back to an absolutely beautiful downtown Birmingham, Alabama. Just about ready for Birmingham Legion FC taking on Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. Time to get a look at each side starting 11s this afternoon. And Mike, let's begin with Pittsburgh, the visitors from the Northeast. 2 changes for Bob Lilly's squad.
Only a couple of changes from their last game. It'll be 3 or 5 in the back, depending on what you want to call it. But it's DeSantos, Kerr, and Brett up top, which are always 3 dangerous players.
Yeah, certainly a fearsome attacking trio up top for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and that 3 in the back has turned into a signature look for the visitors. On the other side for Birmingham Legion FC, more than a couple of changes for head coach Tom Sohn, nearly wholesale.
Almost every player is a change from last game. Williams up top is a remaining starter. Johnson, who play wide left in midfield, and Prosper Kasim. Those 3 have been a key part of this attack all season long.
But everybody else almost brand new. Marcos Ugarte making just his 2nd start. Ben Kucera as a center back making his first career professional start this afternoon. There's a look at head coach Bob Lilly of this Pittsburgh Riverhounds club. The USL Hall of Famer and 2-time USL champion has a chance to get his team back to that #1 spot in the Eastern Conference regular season with a 3-point performance today. On the other side, there's Birmingham Legion FC head coach Tom Sohn in his first season at the helm of this expansion side. Birmingham Legion FC, the only expansion side to make the 2019 playoffs in the Eastern Conference. Our head referee today is Kevin Broadley. The Charlotte, North Carolina native gets his 17th referee assignment this year. He's assisted by Brian Marshall, Matthew Osterhaus, and Peter Gonzalez. Absolutely gorgeous day in the Magic City. Sunny and 74 degrees at kickoff. Could not ask for a better way to close out 2019. Birmingham Legion and black tops with white shorts. Pittsburgh Riverhounds in their change whites with black shorts and yellow socks. There's the whistle, and the final fixture of the 2019 USL Championship regular season is underway. Pittsburgh and Birmingham. Only one game on this Sunday afternoon, and it's right here. Pittsburgh Riverhounds will be either the 1 or the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Birmingham Legion either the 9 or the 10, pending the results of each side's performance here. Blake Gardner alongside Mike Getman, glad to have you with us from the south side of downtown Birmingham, Alabama.
Both teams really right where they wanted to be at the end of the season. You got Pittsburgh, who I think felt they had a real chance right from the start to be the #1 seed, and you've got Birmingham Legion, who as an expansion team probably felt that making the playoffs was the realistic goal for them this very first season. And here they are, both teams right where they wanted to be.
Last time these 2 teams met, Birmingham Legion FC had just 13 points total from their first 17 matches. They went on a tear throughout the summer to get themselves back in playoff contention and secured a playoff spot last night with St. Louis's loss at the hands of North Carolina FC. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh Riverhounds went on their own summer tear as that lofted ball. Dos Santos with an ambitious effort that's well high.
Dos Santos is a handful. He's such a big man, but he's got terrific skills. That time, Femi Hellinger-Jansen did a nice job of just leaving him almost nothing to shoot at.
Injury report this afternoon brought to you by Viva Health. We'll start with the Riverhounds, who are missing Todd Pratzner. He will miss the remainder of 2019 with a broken cheekbone that he suffered against St. Louis FC. Meanwhile, Birmingham Legion down Chandler Hoffman, Mathieu Laurent, Eddie Apoku, Tyler Savitsky, and Razak Cromwell, not to speak of Kyle Culbertson, who is not injured, but was unavailable for selection this afternoon due to a red card suspension. That's our injury report, brought to you by Viva Health. Throw in coming for Legion FC. Mike gives us a chance to talk about our keys to the match presented by Bare Naked Noodles. Let's start with the visitors, Pittsburgh Riverhounds. What do they do well? What do they need to do today?
Well, this is a high energy team anyway, but especially with a little bit of extra rest compared to Legion, playing at a high tempo and forcing the pace of the game will be a real key for them. That and serving lots and lots of crosses. This is a team that likes to get the ball wide and then serve it into their dangerous forwards. I expect to see them do both of those things tonight. For Legion, it's really about finishing the chances that they create. Every game this season, they've created lots and lots of goal-scoring opportunities. They just need to be a little sharper finishing those chances. And then defensively, they're going to have to stay organized. There's some real changes in the back today compared to last weekend's game. And So just being organized and lots of communication in the back will be a key.
Late whistle there as J.J. Williams hacked down Steven Dos Santos, and it draws a whistle. This is a center back pairing for Legion FC today that has not started together, as we get a second look at the foul committed by Williams. Took Dos Santos to the turf. Ben Kucera, Femi Hollinger-Jansen, the center half pairing today. On the other side, for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, one of the stoutest defenses, if not the most stout defense in the USL Championship this year. 16 clean sheets is a league high.
No question that Riverhounds are a very tough nut to crack. Legion have made a lot of changes for this game, but they've got most of their top scoring players on the field, and so it'll be a fun game to watch.
One of them goes to ground right there. That's Johnson.
I expect Daniel Johnson to play a real role. He loves to take players on 1v1. He's so good with the ball at his feet. Him and Prosper Kasim are two of the most dangerous players in this league.
Kasim on it once more. Around 3 white shirts, gives it up. Crowd continues to file in on a beautiful day here in downtown Birmingham. Supporter section across the way for Birmingham, the Magic City Brigade in full throat. Joined this afternoon by some supporters from Nashville SC who have made the short drive down I-65 to join in. Of course, Nashville with a major rooting interest in the results of today's contest. Anything less than a Pittsburgh win, and Nashville is the #1 team in the Eastern Conference playoffs and clinches home field throughout.
It is an interesting dynamic in this game where Pittsburgh are desperate to win the match in order to earn that #1 seed. Birmingham knows they're in the playoffs. They have a chance to rest a few players, but for the guys that haven't been regular starters, this is this opportunity going into the playoffs to show that, hey, maybe I deserve a little bit more playing time. Maybe I'm a player that can come off the bench and be an impact player for this team. So I expect this young group of guys that's on the field to still work incredibly hard and probably have their best performance of the year.
So far, the organization looks pretty good from Birmingham Legion FC, despite the fresh faces. That was one of our keys to the match Mike talked about, presented by Bare Naked Noodles. Pasta's so good it doesn't need to get dressed in Birmingham. Ugarte finds Kucera. Out wide, Eric Avila getting a start at fullback this afternoon. Hollinger-Jansen searching for an option. Finds one at Kasim, who can't quite turn the corner against Banca Yazil. But the Riverhounds do concede the match's first corner.
Legion have not been an overly dangerous team on corner kicks throughout this season, but with so many new players, and in particular Ben Kucera, who's a very big man at 6'4", very good in the air. Be interesting to see if they serve this first one to him somewhere around the back post.
Everybody forward for Legion with the exception of Ugarte and Akeem Ward. As Avila readies his service, and before that can happen, a whistle from our head referee Kevin Broadley to sort out the 6-yard area. Service taken short. Avila lofted towards the back post, and sure hands from Kyle Morton.
Kyle Morton's been really good all season long. He's got 12 shutouts on this season. He's a big man at 6'4", and he's got very good hands, as he showed right there.
Long ball over the top. Nico Brett, flag is up. He's offside. It's a well-weighted pass, but Brett maybe about a leg and a half off of Hollinger-Jansen's shoulder.
Femi Hollinger-Jansen did a really nice job of letting Nico Brett run past him, knowing that he'd be offsides. But that's certainly one of the threats this Riverhound team possesses. Nico Brett is really quick. He's good with the ball at his feet, but he does like to make those darting runs in behind the defense.
It's almost like lightning and thunder between Brett and Dos Santos up top. Brett out wide Had it dispossessed, but only out of play. Throw taken quickly. Finds Dos Santos. Dos Santos gets some support. Brett dispossessed from behind by Hollinger Jansen. Challenge looked clean. Dabo forced all the way back to his center backs. Adewale, Greenspan, and Banke Azil, the three center halves for Pittsburgh Riverhounds this afternoon. Nicely picked out pass there by Greenspan. Kerr goes down, referee lets it go. And Canardo Forbes to chase it. Forbes has some support out wide from James. It's Forbes' edge of the area. Forbes shot blocked. And Kassim got a boot in. Johnson picks up his head, looking for the quick counter over the top to Williams. That's a bit too heavy. And it's all the way back to Morton. Right idea, though, for Legion.
Really nice idea. The ball just a little bit overhit. But J.J. Williams, he's got size, but he's got great pace, and he's a tough matchup for any defender when that ball gets played behind.
Kucera yanks back Dos Santos. An easy foul given there. As we get a second look at certainly the biggest matchup on the field today. Kucera against Dos Santos.
Two really big men. Dos Santos typically starts up high and then likes to come in underneath into that midfield position. He's so technical. He's a great passer as well. It makes a tough challenge for a center back. Do you stay with him and vacate your center back spot, or do you let him receive the ball and turn and play balls behind you? So it's a really tough matchup for anybody.
Not a bad ball in there, just a bit too far for Greenspan, and the goal kick coming for Trevor Spangenberg and Birmingham Legion. Fan Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Throw coming for Legion after a stray ball makes its way off the pitch. Just a few minutes into this one, Birmingham Legion against Pittsburgh Riverhounds for the second time this year. It was all Pittsburgh the first time these two teams met. Pittsburgh 4, Birmingham 1 up at Highmark Stadium in front of the Steel Army and crowd. That was really the final game before Legion were able to turn their 2019 campaign around. Immediately after that, the Legion went on a 9-match unbeaten streak that propelled them back into the playoff mix.
It was interesting earlier this week when we were talking with Coach Bob Lilly. He talked about the Legion being a top 4 team in terms of the talent that they possess. And so even though Riverhounds beat them fairly comfortably earlier in the season, he certainly wasn't taking this game lightly and didn't feel like this was going to be a simple match for the Riverhounds.
Dos Santos out wide, Jordan Dover, his first extended touches here early. Dover plays it through, here's Kerr. Kerr's service is a good one. Dangerous, just a bit too far beyond Dos Santos.
That was really the Riverhounds attack in a nutshell. Nice job of getting it wide. The outside backs getting forward and serving good, dangerous balls into the box.
Good switch there, finds Greenspan. Out wide for Kerr. Here's Dover. Dover's early delivery, dealt with by Hollinger Jansen. Legion trying to play through out of the back. They do so well. Kassim picks up his head, looking for Williams, who's one-on-one. Fine play by Adewale.
Great defending from Adewale. That was almost a perfect pass from Prosper Kassim. How he saw that from 60 yards away, but threaded it through perfectly. Adewale saw it the whole way and beat J.J. Williams to the ball.
Giveaway in their own half from Riverhounds here, but Kassim gives it back, and he's going to be called for a foul. Kerr went down lightly. Kassim not happy about it, but an easy call for the official. Riverhounds restart quickly. Here's James inside for Brett. Brett around a host of Legion bodies gives it away. Joe Holland in on the tackle. Certainly a familiar name for the Riverhounds and their fans. Holland played the 2018 campaign in Pittsburgh. Was sent off with a red card in the final game he played for the Riverhounds in the first round of the playoffs a season ago. Lovely flick by Dos Santos. Hollinger Jansen to the rescue. Avila with a good challenge, but he gave it back. Here comes Ryan James. James picks up his head. His cross deflected out of the area. Falls for Dover. All the way back, Greenspan. Good challenge by Mabiala. Thought he had won the throw as well. Instead, it's a throw for Pittsburgh.
It's interesting to see Greenspan playing as the right center back. He's such a tall player at 6'6". You'd think he'd be more central, but Greenspan is such a good passer. I think he's pushed, or sorry, Van Kazele's such a good passer that it's pushed Greenspan out wide.
Spangenberg out with two hands and quickly finds an outlet in J.J. Williams, who's 1v5 on this end of the pitch. Williams beats one man, but not the second. Goes down, referee not by. Here come Pittsburgh back the other way. Santos waiting for support. As Williams remains down behind the play, slowly getting to his feet. Legion certainly can't afford to lose anybody else. We went through the lengthy injury reports at the outset of this contest. And Legion turn around and have a playoff match awaiting them on Wednesday, as the road to the 2019 USL Championship Final begins next week with the play-in games Wednesday, October 23rd, followed by a full slate of conference quarterfinals beginning Saturday, October 26th. For specific match dates and times, visit uslchampionship.com and tune in for every minute of playoff action on ESPN+. Quarter of an hour in so far in this contest between Pittsburgh and Birmingham. Still scoreless. Neither side has been able to generate a quality chance just yet.
Riverhounds certainly establishing their possession of the ball and control of the game so far, but I also think Legion are probably pretty happy to have made it through the first 15 minutes. They've had a chance to kind of sort themselves out and make sure they're organized.
Good ball in, delivered by Dover. Back post, headed by James off woodwork. The rebound by Brett is denied as well. Danger not totally dealt with yet. Here's Dover's cross. Hollinger Jansen sends it across the line. It will be a goal kick, not a corner. Goal kick, but a frenzy there. Somehow Pittsburgh still scoreless.
Some desperate defending by Legion FC. A couple of different people got a foot on that ball as it caromed around in the goal. Trevor Spangenberg, I think, made a really big save with the bottom of his foot on the initial shot.
If Brett takes that first time, maybe he's able to squeeze it off without it getting deflected or saved. That extra touch cost him, and in the end, Legion's defense is able to hold.
I agree with you completely. You love that your center forward has the composure to bring a ball down in traffic, but when you're in the box, you're not going to get two touches very often.
Johnson on the turn, couldn't quite control it. Under pressure from Dabo. Here comes Dover up this right side once again. Marked there by Kasim. Brett, his pass intercepted by Johnson. Johnson against two defenders. Goes down, foul given, and a rather harsh challenge there from Captain Canardo Forbes. Second look at the challenge as Forbes went in lunging for the ball, didn't quite get there.
Definitely a foul. Every player always argues that I never touched him, I got the ball. No doubt on that one, it was a foul.
Johnson is the most fouled Legion outfield player this year, 67 fouls drawn. For context on how high that number is, the second highest is Zach Arivo, who's on the bench right now. He's at 37 fouls drawn this year.
Daniel Johnson loves to hold the ball, and his feet are so quick. It's hard for a defender to really get a beat on the ball while he's got it at his feet. Players always sort of tempted to reach, and he draws a lot of fouls, which allows Legion to get their team up the field and maintain possession.
Throw in coming for Riverhounds. It'll be taken by Dover, the 24-year-old from Ontario. Gets it back to Forbes. Those two interchange nicely, but a bit too heavy on that final pass from Dover. Legion fans, are you hashtag 2020 committed? Season tickets for Legion FC in 2020 are now on sale. Whether you need to renew your plan or are in the market for season tickets next season, trust me, now is the time to make those arrangements. Next year will be bigger and better than ever, so make your plans now by calling the Legion ticket office at 205-791-7145 today and be hashtag 2020 committed with Birmingham Legion FC. Quick restart here for Pittsburgh. Forbes delivers another good ball in. Misplayed by Kucera. Dos Santos shot denied. The rebound deflects just wide of the near post. More nervy moments for the Legion defense.
Legion under pressure. It started with a mishit goal kick by Trevor Spangenberg in the goal. And then Ben Kucera misjudging a ball as it skipped off the grass. Thought it was going to pop up high enough to head it. All of a sudden it was at his knees. And then it was just trouble from there.
Dos Santos point blank couldn't beat Spangenberg, and it was Spangenberg to the rescue on the second shot as well. Outstanding individual efforts from a man who's making his first start since May 23rd. Forbes with a low delivery, headed away, right back at him. And a whistle and a stoppage as multiple players are down in the area. J.J. Williams is one of them for Legion. The other one, a Legion player as well, Femi Hollinger-Jansen. The third appears to be Dos Santos. But Hollinger-Jansen, the one receiving medical attention right now. We'll get a second look at it here. Looking on the left side of our screen. Oof, and Hollinger-Jansen takes a straight cleat from Steven Dos Santos.
Yeah, it hurts enough when you got a big man coming down on your head, but with those cleats on the bottom of the shoe, that's got to really be painful. Hopefully he didn't get cut by the cleats, because it did look like he got stepped right on his head.
Hollinger-Jansen's dealt with head injuries this year. The 25-year-old has made 3 straight substitution appearances since returning from concussion-like symptoms. Played 34 minutes for Legion last time out against New York Red Bulls too. He's to his feet, able to walk off under his own power. Hopefully that's a good sign for him. And he can make his way back onto the pitch here shortly. For the moment, Legion will play down a man as Eric Avila readies himself to restart play. Pittsburgh head coach Bob Lilly down below us, you see on your screen. Looks like he's telling his team to keep doing what they're doing. They've put some pressure on this Legion back line over the last few minutes or so as Ward sends it deep and restarts us.
Legion have sent a few players to go get warmed up while the doctor's examining Hollinger-Jansen on the bench.
So Legion down a man for the moment as we play in the 23rd minute, still scoreless between Birmingham and Pittsburgh. Here's Kerr. Flicks it over the top for Dos Santos. Dos Santos couldn't bring it down though. And Ugarte taken down from behind. Second start this year for Marcos Ugarte, who's down holding his right ankle. Looks like he might have just gotten nicked from behind by Nico Brett. And Ugarte has slowly made his way to his feet. Fans, don't forget to download the Legion FC app, the only app for Birmingham Legion FC. Available on both iOS and Android platforms, and it's the only app where fans here in 2019 could choose what kit Birmingham Legion FC would wear in this afternoon's final contest against Pittsburgh. Fans decided on black tops and white shorts. That's the Legion FC app, the only app that says hammer down. Ugarte out wide for Ward. And back to Mabiala, who slid into that center back role momentarily while Hollinger Jansen gets checked out. But now, number 88 makes his way back onto the pitch. And Legion are back to full strength.
Good to see Hollinger Jansen back on the field with Dos Santos coming down on his head. That could have been really nasty.
Here's Greenspan with time and space to pick up his head. Plays the switch all the way across the park to Ryan James, the Canadian. James inside for Dabo. Back out wide, here's James. Against Holland. Holland takes it off him.
A lot of the little physical battles that are happening all over the field are being won by the Riverhound players. Whether it's Dos Santos or Brett up top or anybody else, it just seems every 50-50 challenge, Riverhounds are coming away with it.
Brett lays it off. Here's Forbes with a shot. Spangenberg saves it, but spills it, still loose in the area. Ward sends it away from danger, and a whistle and a stoppage as the flag was up.
I believe he's called offsides on that one. Must have been an offsides player on the original shot, so when the rebound came out, the flag went up, and for sure it was. Dos Santos just a little behind the defense as the first shot was taken.
Another decent scoring opportunity there for Pittsburgh, but once again, Trevor Spangenberg up to the task. 28-year-old from Missouri State. Made 4 starts in the month of May, but hasn't made one since until today.
Not only not starting, but with goalkeepers, that means really not playing. It's a long time to go without getting game minutes, but he's been sharp in terms of the saves he's had to make so far today.
Greenspan under pressure, does deal with it well. Here's Forbes, tried to turn, lost it. Was it off Forbes last? It was.
I think Akeem Ward talked the assistant referee out of that one. Looked to me like it came off the outside of his foot, but he acted like it was his, and referees weren't quite sure, so they went with him.
Kassim flicks it on in the direction of J.J. Williams. But Williams can't bring it down to another black shirt. Possession so far 65% to Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Which isn't shocking. Thought we'd see the game kind of play out in this type of style. Pittsburgh certainly feel like they should have found the back of the net by this point. They've had a couple of quality opportunities go by the wayside. Forbes with an early delivery, headed away by Hollinger Jansen. Here's Kerr. Dabo under pressure, able to turn away from it. And Azil. Kerr into space. Finds Brett. Brett with a touch, couldn't connect with Dos Santos. Kassim picks up his head, trying to play towards Williams. A bit too far, although Williams is going to make it interesting. Morton with it at his feet, almost caught in possession.
I think initially on that play, J.J. Williams thought he had no chance, and he kind of slowed up. Then he realized, hey, wait a minute, I can get to this.
Much of the action's been on this side of the park. Legion's only real chances have come via counter-attacking opportunities. Greenspan looking for the run of Kerr. Nicely done, perfectly weighted. Kerr's ball in, headed away by Kucera. Here's Dos Santos, back out wide. Kerr with the second delivery. It's low. Hollinger Jansen sends it away. Dover's half volley is set away as well.
Riverhounds are a really difficult team to defend against. They're good in possession, but they play about 40% of all their passes in a forward direction. So they're always looking up the field. They're always finding the first man in front of them that they can play to. And so the defense can never rest. They're not going sideways and backwards very often.
Dover with a missed touch, throw in coming for Legion. Fans, don't forget you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. USL is excited to announce the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 matches on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Kerr's service is blocked by Akeem Ward. It does yield a corner. Second corner of the evening coming for Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh has some really big players to send forward on these set pieces. Legion has some big players as well, but not very many that have played together, and so real opportunity for some disorganization on these defensive corners.
That'll be Forrest, the captain, to swing it in, the 31-year-old Jamaican. Towards the center of the area, Williams sends it away. Pittsburgh still with numbers forward. Unmarked is Kevin Kerr on the edge of the area. Kerr's service is high and lofted, headed just wide by Dos Santos.
Dos Santos was challenged really well on that play, but he still just got up over everybody, headed it back across the goal. Unfortunately for him, just past the post.
Quality look for Dos Santos. Man with over 40 USL goals, just missed his 42nd. As Spangenberg sends it away, fans Birmingham Legion FC entrust the care of its athletes to UAB Sports Medicine Team, and you should too, as Spangenberg misplays another goal kick. Luckily for Legion, nothing comes of it. UAB Sports Medicine Team is all fellowship trained and have extensive experience caring for patients of all ages. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a competitive athlete, come see UAB Sports Medicine so we can help get you back to your active lifestyle. Ward couldn't quite connect with J.J. Williams.
That's been the attack so far for Legion. Couple of passes side to side, and then looking for that early ball over the top to J.J. Williams.
Here's Kerr once more. Connects well with James. James is off and running. James an early ball. Cusero is able to block it.
Really well read by Cusero. Just did a nice job of staying in the passing lane.
This is just the 4th appearance of the year for the 25-year-old Ben Cusero, who split his NCAA soccer playing career at Creighton and the University of Santa Clara. Here's Dover. Dover with an opportunity, takes it, and it's just pushed over the bar by Spangenberg.
Struck it hard, but right at Spangenberg in goal, who did a nice job of just making sure he pushed it over the top.
Dover put it on frame. Spangenberg forced into yet another first-half save. So far, the Legion FC keeper's been up to the challenge. Just a little over a half hour gone. 32nd minute. Still scoreless from downtown Birmingham. Forbes delivery finds the head of J.J. Williams. Intended for Dos Santos. Kasim is off and running, looking for options. Under pressure from Greenspan, forced backwards. And for Greenspan, that's a job well done. Hollinger Jansen splits defenders, finds Kasim. First real touch for Mabiala. It's a nifty touch to free Avila, but Avila couldn't keep it at his feet.
Legion are really playing with 2 up top, Williams and Mabiala. J.J. Williams has had a couple of touches, mostly defensive headers, and Mabiala just had his first touch of the ball out wide.
Mabiala, the UAB product. Been used mainly as a sub this year. This is just his 4th start of 2019 to go along with 7 substitute appearances. Here's Holland. Kasim turns, plays out wide. Johnson can't quite get there.
Legion have struggled to connect passes in the attacking half of the field. But the good news is, with all these new players on the field, they've kept the game scoreless. The longer it goes, the more comfortable these guys will get playing together. Pittsburgh has created a number of good scoring opportunities, but yet to put anything in the net.
Here's Ugarte. Mabiala, one touch to Johnson. Pittsburgh have held over 68% of possession so far in this first half. Nothing on the scoreboard to show for it just yet. Legion trying to maintain this extended run of possession on their side, the attacking half. Johnson with a man on. Goes down, foul given.
Good call by the referee. A lot of times when teams possess the ball and you see that they've got 68, 70%, you think they're probably keeping it in the back and just knocking it around, almost wasting time. But this Riverhounds team, their possession is really meaningful. They look forward first every time, and they've had a lot of possession in the attacking half of the field.
This could be a set-piece opportunity for Legion. Doesn't look like they're going to think of it as that way. It's just 2 or 3 bodies were forward. Holland spins inside, goes down. Referee says play on. Mabiala nearly through. Couldn't touch it around the keeper. Still loose in the area and finally sent away by Adewale.
Not sure if we'll get a replay on that or not, but Mabiala, I think, tried to flick it over the goalkeeper, and he got a hand up there and tipped it away at the last moment.
Flag was up against Mabiala, who is offside. Best scoring chance Legion have had so far this afternoon. As Kasim was called for a foul there. Mabiala just trying to get the touch around Morton. Couldn't quite beat him. Morton's been very good this year in goal for Pittsburgh. Surrendered just 2 goals in his last 9 starts over the last few months. Crucera nearly caught in possession, able to keep it. As Hollinger Jansen sends it deep. Fans, when you're busy shuttling kids to and from school, soccer practice, and everything in between, and don't always have time to cook a healthy meal many evenings, keep you and your family out of the drive-thru with Meal Fit, the official food sponsor of Birmingham Legion FC. Meal Fit makes life easier and healthier with delicious and balanced home-cooked meals prepared for life on the go. Learn more and order online at mealfit.co. That's mealfit.co. As Dos Santos stopped his run there, knowing he was in an offside position when that ball was played.
These two teams played earlier in the year. Legion were stuck towards the bottom of the table. Pittsburgh was only in the middle. Legion went on a 9-game unbeaten streak in the middle of the season, and Pittsburgh is on a 10-game unbeaten streak of their own right now.
Pittsburgh's played extremely well. Towards the middle part of the year, it looked like it was Red Bulls and Rowdies that threatened to run away with the 1 and 2 seeds in the Eastern Conference. But the Riverhounds have closed out the season in phenomenal fashion. Johnson picks his head up, still looking for options, finds one in Holland. Holland with a chance, lets it fly right at Morton.
Morton with a comfortable save, but that's really the best scoring opportunity. I think the first save that Morton's really had to make today.
Second look from just behind the net. It was driven low and hard, but Morton was leaning that way.
Goalkeeper in the right position, but really well struck by Joe Holland.
Here's Johnson dribbling once again, goes down, referee brings out the whistle. Second look at Johnson getting brought down from behind by Forbes. Put his hands up in the air, but ultimately drew the whistle anyway.
Every time Daniel Johnson gets the ball at his feet, he's dangerous, and he draws a crowd as well. People know he likes to dribble, so they bring 2 or 3 defenders, but that opens up passing lanes for other players as well, and Daniel Johnson always seems to have his head up. He finds those open passes.
Talked about it earlier, but Johnson's about to eclipse the 70 foul drawn mark this year. He's won his side a free kick in a dangerous position.
I'm not sure that's a statistic that he's really happy with. It does help the team, but each one of those little things hurts.
Avila delivers it over the top, back post. Morton, another sure-handed catch.
That ball just floated too much. Morton's not just big, but he's got really good range. You can't just float it up there and think he's not going to come and claim it.
Riverhounds often running the other way. James opts to play back instead. And Azil caught in possession, gives it away. Here comes Williams. Williams flicks it back toward the center part of the park for Johnson. Johnson just a bit too far behind Prosper Kasim. Kerr was caught in possession on the other side of the park, given away. Kasim trying to find Johnson. Van Azil to the rescue.
Kasim and Daniel Johnson just not quite on the same page there. With two of the most dangerous attacking players in the league trying to combine right at the top of the box.
40th minute from downtown Birmingham, Alabama. Still scoreless between Pittsburgh and Birmingham, as Holland is caught in possession and ends up giving it away. Here comes Kennardo Forbes. It's 4-on-4 if Riverhounds hurry. Out wide, here comes Ryan James. James with a chance to serve it in. Kucera heads it away. Dover onto it. Able to keep possession for the Riverhounds in the attacking half. Forbes again. Inside for Dabo.
Daniel James is listed as a wide back, but he's been in the attacking third as much as any player.
Another save by Spangenberg on a shot from Brett. James, another delivery. Dos Santos flicks it towards the general direction of goal, but it's easy in the end for Spangenberg as Dos Santos is down, holding his right ankle. Legion play around him as Dos Santos is a bit slow to get to his feet. Another attacking opportunity for the Riverhounds goes by the wayside. Trevor Spangenberg's had an excellent first half. Good switch by Holland. Here comes Ward. The former DC United man lays it off for Kasim. His pass cut out by Dabo. Dabo almost caught in possession. Instead, it comes away to Kevin Kerr, the Englishman. Up the touchline for Brett. Brett all the way across the park and perfectly weighted to Forbes. Riverhounds off and running again. James gets around Avila. Lays it off for Forbes.
James has been the most dangerous player on the field so far. He's listed as their left wing back, but he has been an attacking threat, serving balls in the box, getting up and down the wing all day, and now he's working all the way back to defend.
Ryan James, the 2015 Super Draft pick by Sporting Kansas City. Kasim serves an early ball in. Mabiala got a piece, but couldn't redirect it on frame.
Great ball from Prosper Kasim. Hard work from Gail Mabiala trying to get to that ball first, which he did, but just couldn't redirect it on goal.
Second look, it was a driven ball from Prosper Kasim, but off the knee it looked like of Mabiala. And in the end, didn't trouble Morton. 42nd minute here at BBVA Field. Fans, don't forget the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Just a few more minutes in this opening half. Can't imagine there's more than a minute or so of added time. Here's Dover. Flag stays down. He was in an onside position. Chased down by Kasim. Back post ball. James couldn't quite get there. Forbes against Holland. Holland wins the battle, wins the throw.
Holland did really well to win that ball. I thought he was just one step late getting to it, but he just worked a little bit harder, ended up earning possession for Legion.
There you see Holland on your screen there. He made 14 appearances for Pittsburgh a season ago. This is 15th appearance for Birmingham Legion in 2019. Holland couldn't quite bring that header down. Here's Kerr. Kerr lets it loose from distance, a deflection, and it's pushed aside by Spangenberg.
That deflection almost caught Spangenberg. Ball was in the sun, changed directions at the last moment. He did really well to get his feet sorted out, get over to it.
Not a bad strike from Kevin Kerr. Kerr's already got 5 goals this year. Go along with 3 assists. 2 of those assists came the last time these two teams met. Another set piece opportunity for Pittsburgh here in the dying moments of the first half. Low delivery from Forbes, flicked towards the back post. Falls for Kerr. Out wide for Brett. Brett, a right-footed service. And it's not redirected on goal, although it was a decent opportunity for Adewale at the back post. Second look at it, and Adewale just got maybe the right side of his head to it, but couldn't put it on frame.
Hollinger Jansen did just enough to throw him off.
As Spangenberg sends it into the setting sun. 5:20 local time, 6:20 Eastern time. That sun's still got a ways before it gets all the way down into the western sky. Dos Santos around 2 defenders, not quite able to keep it under pressure. Ward tries to turn, can't do so, ends up giving it away. Forbes can't quite connect with Dover. Word from down below is we'll get 1 minute of added time. Our stoppage time is brought to you by UAB Medicine this evening. Long ball over the top, looking for J.J. Williams. Williams in a battle with Adewale. Both men go down. It's a foul against Williams.
Adewale did a really nice job. He was pinned on the back of J.J. Williams, but just fought through it, ended up winning the ball, and then the foul.
Likely should have been a handball on Williams as well before the contact occurred.
All 3 center backs for the Riverhounds have been really good in this first half.
Kerr serves it towards the top of the area. Hollinger Jansen plays it off his chest. Dying moments of the first half. Can either side find one more scoring opportunity? Lovely footwork by Kasim in front of his own bench as Ugarte sends it forward. Adewale combines well with Morton at the back.
Morton did really well. I don't think he wanted that ball in the air to his head, but he handled it comfortably.
James gives it away. Holland goes down, and that will be all from our first 45 minutes tonight. At BBVA Field, still scoreless between Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Birmingham Legion FC. I have to imagine it's a happy group from Nashville watching right now, as Pittsburgh have not found the back of the net against Trevor Spangenberg and company, despite holding the majority of possession and generating the majority of the chances. Birmingham Legion's defense has held strong as both teams head into the dressing room. And Mike, got to imagine this is exactly what the doctor ordered for a Birmingham Legion side that made a multitude of changes.
I think they've got to be pretty happy. 0-0 against perhaps the top team in the East, with so many new players on the field, so many guys that haven't played many minutes together. I think it's been a really good performance. They've worked hard, and they've had a couple of good chances as well.
Coming up at halftime, Mikey Lopez sat down to talk about this 2019 Birmingham Legion campaign. Plus, we'll get a look at the playoff preview coming up this Wednesday across the USL Championship. No score between Birmingham Legion and Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
At Red Diamond, we've spent 112 years searching the world for the perfect beans. Your search will be considerably shorter. Red Diamond. Expect perfection. Available at a grocer near you. When your taste buds demand greatness, nothing compares to Red Diamond coffee. Unless, of course, it's Red Diamond tea. No shortcuts, no skimping. Perfect's not easy. Red Diamond. Available at a grocer near you.
What's going on, guys? Here with Mikey Lopez. I was going to say defender Mikey Lopez, but I had to know whether to say defender, midfielder. You've done a lot this year for this team.
Yeah, I have. It's been fun, though. It's been fun. I've had a lot of fun playing both as a midfielder and as an outside back, so it's been good.
You were team of the week as a right back.
Yeah, twice, actually. Twice. So it's been a good position for me.
You're not the only guy that's had to kind of switch roles, switch positions at times this year. It seems like especially early in the year, as the team was trying to find its groove. There was a lot of tinkering, mix and matching, trying to find that stretch. But then once it hit the summer, it seems like this team really came together.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that break after Pittsburgh definitely helped us. I think it's just let us all reset and just find our groove finally. So it's been good. It's been good. Good time since the summer.
Yeah, and you've been with some top-tier setups in your time in club soccer, but this obviously the first year for Birmingham Legion. You got a chance to be a part of it, really from the ground up. What's that been like?
It's been a great experience. I mean, I've had a lot of fun with it. Obviously, there's some ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs, a lot more downs this year than we wanted, but it's been good. A lot of growing pains that were to be expected for a brand new team, but I think like you said, once we hit that summer, I think we finally found our groove, and I think this team is a force to be reckoned with.
And you've worn a captain's armband for a good portion of that. How special has that been?
It's been a truly amazing experience. I mean, I've been blessed, and I'm lucky to be able to be the captain for this team for the first year, and it's something that I take great pride and honor wearing that captain's armband. So, I mean, I hope I've been representing the city well and representing the team well, and hopefully we can keep doing that these next 2 games and into the playoffs.
How fun's it been to kind of watch the fan base grow too?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, they've been really great all year. They started off really strong, and it was unfortunate that we didn't give them many things to cheer about, but they've stuck with us through thick and thin, and I think hopefully we can put on a show these next 2 games, and hopefully we can make them even more proud, and hopefully they can continue their support into the playoffs.
Well, looking forward to watching you close out the rest of 2019. Thanks for the time, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's a shot there. It's off the post. Unless you leave it with a legacy. Big shot. Welcome to the post. Orchard can hit from here.
What this club is trying to do is offer a real sense of community.
But it's all about the process. Make sure you're doing the little things right.
We have a really strong locker room, and everybody really wants to do well for the club.
Good afternoon, faithful. This is a big day. This is a big deal for us. This is a win for the community.
You know, we've been averaging, between, I would say, 10 and 12,000 a game.
And it is a loud, boisterous 10,000, 12,000, and they love us, and we love them just as much. I mean, it's a reciprocal relationship at all times.
We never thought that we would grow this fast.
I have to pinch myself because, it sometimes seems too good to be true, but it's not. It's been pretty unbelievable, and it's been done better than I ever could have dreamt of, to be honest.
This is a club for New Mexico, by New Mexicans.
And I don't think that we're done yet. It's just getting started.
Welcome Welcome back to downtown Birmingham, Alabama. Blake Gardner alongside Mike Getman. Glad to have you with us as we are scoreless between Birmingham Legion FC and Pittsburgh Riverhounds at the break. Time to get a look at the playoff picture with the playoffs starting in just a few days. Let's take a look at the Western Conference first. 10 teams aside, 20 teams are left. Everyone's spot has been clinched. We just saw the promo for that New Mexico United documentary that's coming out soon, and New Mexico United, just by the skin of their teeth, sneak into the Western Conference playoff picture.
They got in the last spot, but they've had a great season, and they've drawn great crowd support all year long. They're going to be fun to watch. And at the top of the list, of course, Phoenix Rising, who've set just about every record you can. They've been nearly unstoppable all season long.
All three Western Conference expansion teams in the playoff picture. Austin Bold in the 8 seed spot, and El Paso Locomotive in the 6th spot on 50 points. Kind was the Western Conference to the new teams in this 2019 campaign. Meanwhile, on the eastern side of things, the only expansion side in the playoffs, well, that's Birmingham Legion FC, who will either be the 10 seed or the 9 seed, depending on the result against Pittsburgh tonight. Nashville and Pittsburgh still fighting for that 1 and 2 slot. Everybody else is set, and Mike, unlike in the West, where Phoenix kind of ran away with it, it feels like there's a steady group of teams at the top. Anyone could run away with this Eastern Conference championship.
On the western side, there's no question who the favorite is. I don't think anybody could tell you who the favorite is on the East. Whether Pittsburgh comes in at the #1 seed or not, everybody in the top half of this table, from Nashville all the way down through New York and probably even North Carolina, all feel they've got a shot to win the division.
Feels like all those teams at one point or another led the Eastern Conference as well. It was topsy-turvy. It was a fight all the way to the very last day of the season to see who would clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs, which starts this Wednesday. 10 teams vying for the league championships on either side, 10 in the East, 10 in the West, 20 total. We already talked about Phoenix Rising and their incredible performance. A lot of that was because of Kevon Lambert. 24 wins, 78 points, and Lambert was such a massive part of what Phoenix were able to do. Really, Mike, that was a story that captivated not just USL, but American soccer at large.
Yeah, this Phoenix Rising club has really been an interesting story all the way through, from the start of their club history till today. They've had great success last year, of course, losing in the final. This year they've certainly made the push to win it all, but individually they've had some great stories. As a team, they've had some great stories. Of course, Didier Drogba, one of the greatest players in the world of soccer, is one of the owners of the club. And so there's just an awful lot of really neat stories for Phoenix Rising.
Going into the playoffs, 538 gives Phoenix Rising a 34% chance to win the league this season. Here's a look at the first 45 minutes of action between Pittsburgh and Birmingham. As we mentioned a couple of times throughout the action, Pittsburgh had more of the opportunities. They had more of the chances, 14 shots to 3 against Birmingham Legion, but Birmingham's defense was able to hold firm.
It doesn't matter what stat you look at. There's no question that Pittsburgh has been on top of this first half. But I think Legion will be pretty happy with where they stand at the moment. They've gotten 45 minutes under their belt with this group of players in these positions. I certainly look for them to have a little bit more possession and probably 1 or 2 more chances in the second half.
We'll see what adjustments were made coming out of the halftime dressing rooms in just a moment. The second 45 minutes for the Magic City comes your way after a quick timeout.
BBVA, transforming banking to put the world's opportunities in your hands. BBVA Compass is now BBVA, creating opportunities.
Coors Light is cold filtered for brightness and clarity. The world's most refreshing beer, Coors Light.
Welcome back to BBVA Field. You can see the BBVA building off in the distance towards the midtown portion of downtown Birmingham, Alabama. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from our first half of action between Birmingham Legion and Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Mike, a lot of the early chances went Pittsburgh Riverhounds' way, including that one right here. Ryan James right off the woodwork. That was probably the best chance Riverhounds had in that first half.
Great chance, great shot. Trevor Spangenberg coming up big time and time again. Riverhounds have to feel like they had the shots and chances that they wanted. Somehow they just couldn't find the back of the net.
13 shots to be exact for Pittsburgh Riverhounds early in this first half. Good look there from Jordan Dover was saved by Spangenberg. Ardo Forbes had a good look as well, along with Nico Bretz. Gail Mabiala had the best chance for Birmingham Legion there. Couldn't quite flick it around the keeper, Morton. And Prosper Kassim tried to find him a second time, but once again, Mabiala couldn't redirect it on frame. But so far, Pittsburgh Riverhounds have been unable to pierce the back of the net. That's the biggest storyline from our first 45 minutes. The Riverhounds took their time getting back to the park as well. Got to imagine it was a rather spirited discussion in the dressing room. Pittsburgh probably either felt not to be up 1-0 or extremely disappointed that they don't have the lead.
They know what's at stake, and I'm sure the coaches made it very, very clear to this group of players that there's a lot to play for in this last 45 minutes. And this is the last 45 minutes of the regular season for anybody in the league. And I'm sure we're going to see Pittsburgh giving every last ounce of energy that they've got.
Fans certainly enjoying themselves here in downtown Birmingham, Alabama. Win or lose, it has been a successful day for Birmingham Legion FC, clinching their playoff spot officially last night, thanks to St. Louis FC's loss at the hands of North Carolina. But Pittsburgh Riverhounds still with work to do as head coach Bob Lilly addresses his team one final time before we get going in the second 45 minutes of play. Haven't seen any announced changes just yet, but imagine at least one or two are forthcoming from a Legion perspective as they continue to rotate and try to keep bodies fresh for an upcoming match Wednesday.
Yeah, I would doubt Pittsburgh's made any changes. They've got to be pretty happy at least with the group that's out there and the chances that they've created, even if they haven't got the result they want so far. For Birmingham, I think they feel the same way, pretty happy about where they sit with this group of players, but I would expect to see a few changes. My guess is J.J. Williams will come off at some point, trying to give him a little bit of rest. I wouldn't be surprised to see Daniel Johnson substituted partway through just because he takes such a beating in every game, getting fouled so many times. They don't want to lose him heading into the playoffs. But for now, I think it's the same 22 players that the first half ended with.
There's the referee's whistle. Second half is underway from downtown Birmingham, Alabama, BBVA Field. Birmingham Legion, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the final regular season contest in the USL in 2019. Next time the USL is back in action is this Wednesday in the 7-10, 8-9 contest in the East and the West as the playoffs get underway. No announced changes for either side, although Birmingham Legion FC have their substitutes off and warming up already at the outset of this second half. Legion FC in black kits, white shorts, white socks. Pittsburgh Riverhounds in their changed white strip with black shorts and yellow socks. As the sun continues to set in the western sky, a perfect 74 degrees here at BBVA Field. Most of the pitch is under cover now, with the exception of the 18-yard box where Kyle Morton is going to have the sun in his eyes at least for the first quarter hour or so of the second half. James couldn't find a white shirt. Ryan James was one of the most important Riverhounds in that first 45. Nice job by Ugarte. Went to ground, got the ball. Referee said play on, but now Legion have given it away. Here's Kenardo Forbes, edge of the area. Cuts it back for Brett. Brett couldn't get it off his boots, and Hollinger Jansen sends it away.
This is going to be an interesting race. Mabiala's got a lot of pace.
Mabiala made it interesting, but in the end, the Riverhounds able to keep possession. Ben Kaziel out wide for Kerr. Early service doesn't find Nico Brett.
I think he meant to put that ball behind the defense, instead played it right into the center of the backs for Legion FC. An easy clearance.
Both wingbacks certainly have gotten forward for Riverhounds tonight, Jordan Dover and Ryan James. As Joe Holland pushes forward, out wide, here's Kasim. Kasim plays it early in the direction of Williams, flicked away by Adewale. Keyboard, another interception, the starting left back for Legion this evening. Man out of Vienna, Virginia, the 14th overall pick in the latest super draft by DC United, was let go in the summer. Legion scooped him up along with Anderson Asiadu. Two of the more important changes to the roster Birmingham Legion have made in the 2019 campaign.
Both came into this team, became immediate starters, and really have become immediate impact players for Legion.
Ward just 23 years old, Asiadu 23 as well. Ugarte couldn't connect with Mabiala. Mabiala able to win it back though. Most of the duels on the ground in the first 45 minutes were actually won by Birmingham Legion. It was the duels in the air where the disparity got pretty wide. Pittsburgh winning the majority of the lofted balls. I have to imagine we'll see more balls in the air headed in the direction of Brett and Dos Santos in this second half as Forbes is off and running. Trying to connect with Dos Santos in the middle. Instead, it flows all the way through for Kerr. Dos Santos with an opportunity off his head. The bicycle attempt is over the bar.
Really nice effort by Nico Brett. Tough ball to hit. It was only a couple yards away from him when it got flicked up in the air, so he really didn't have much time to line it up. Acrobatic effort, but well wide and high of the goal.
As Spangenberg gets ready to send it away. Fans, when you're busy shuttling kids to and from school, soccer practice, and everything in between, and don't always have time to cook a healthy meal many evenings, keep you and your family out of the drive-thru with Meal Fit, the official food sponsor of Birmingham Legion FC. Meal Fit makes life easier and healthier with delicious and balanced home-cooked meals prepared for life on the go. Learn more about Meal Fit and order now online at mealfit.co. That's mealfit.co. Brett all the way across the park. Kerr runs it down.
Really good ball from Brett. I don't know that he even looked. He just knew where his teammate was and played an almost perfect ball 60 yards across the field.
Kerr goes over the ad board to get his own ball as well. Kerr one-on-one with Kasim. Hops to play backwards towards Dabo, the 23-year-old man from Senegal. Grew up playing his youth soccer in the Inter Milan system before coming over to play for Harrisburg City a couple of seasons back. Throw in coming for Birmingham Legion here in the 51st minute. Nashville still excited at the recent developments. As the live table stands right now, it would be Nashville who hold the 1 seed and home field advantage throughout the 2019 Eastern Conference USL playoffs. Pittsburgh, of course, can change that by finding the back of the net sometime in this second half, and it looks like both sides are preparing their first changes of this second half coming momentarily. As Hollinger Jansen sends that one out of play, it'll be the first change of the night, and it'll be coming from Birmingham Legion. And it'll be Prosper Kasim, whose evening comes to a close. The leader in minutes played for Birmingham Legion FC will exit here in the 52nd minute. As Kasim exits, Zach Arivo comes in, the loanee from the New England Revolution.
Prosper Kasim had a really good first half, a couple of really dangerous passes, involved in a lot of the attack for Legion FC. I'm sure this is all about giving him some rest. Zach Arivo, who was away on international duty, did play 30 minutes in the game the other night, but this will give him a chance to get a little more accustomed to playing with his Legion team as opposed to the Haitian national team.
Arivo, 23 years old, originally born in Japan. And as you mentioned, double-digit caps for Haiti. Latest caps came in the CONCACAF Nations League a couple of weeks ago. Ugarte goes down, late whistle, but the referee does indeed blow it. Foul given. And now Pittsburgh Riverhounds will make their own change, as looks like Kevin Kerr's night is over. Checking in for the Riverhounds, number 24, Robbie Mertz, the 22-year-old who prepped and played his college soccer at the University of Michigan.
Substitution for Pittsburgh Riverhounds this team in the 53rd minute. Entering the game is number 24, Robbie Mertz.
Kerr put in a pretty good shift, working up and down the field. I think this is just about keeping the energy high, bringing in some fresh legs, and making sure that they don't let the tempo of the game drop.
6 goals, 4 assists this year for Mertz. Each side has now made one of their 3 changes available this evening, as Kucera sends that back towards the central part of the park. Just a few minutes into our second half of action on a lovely night for soccer in downtown Birmingham, Alabama. Dover able to keep that in play. Ward goes to ground to get it off Canardo Forbes, pardon me. Riverhounds restart play quickly. Here comes Dover. Dover's early ball. Kucera deals with it well. Holland couldn't quite bring it down. Ugarte heads it in the direction of Williams, who leaves it for Arivo. Two loanees on the field for Birmingham Legion FC. Arivo from New England Revolution. J.J. Williams from Columbus Crew. Here's Nico Brett. His service denied by Ward. And it'll be just a goal kick, as Brett could never get it off his boot.
Great sliding tackle from Akeem Ward. I think he blocked the cross. It just happened to bounce right back off of Brett. Goal kick for Legion.
Legion fans, you hashtag 2020 committed. Season tickets for Legion FC in 2020 are now on sale. Whether you need to renew your plan or are in the market for season tickets next season, trust me, now is the time to make those arrangements. Next year will be bigger and better than ever, so make your plans now by calling the Legion FC ticket office at 205-791-7145 today and be hashtag 2020 committed. Mabiala runs down the opportunity in the corner, waits for a black shirt, doesn't quite get one, as Greenspan sends that over the touchline. Throw in coming for Legion. But there you see the pace of Gail Mabiala putting this back line of Pittsburgh under pressure.
In the first half, Mabiala was playing really as a true center striker. Now it looks like he's playing a little more as a wide right player, which is a little more natural for him.
Ugarte goes to ground, wins the ball, but a foul given late, as both Ugarte and I believe that's Mertz are down. Mertz holding his right ankle, Ugarte holding his right ankle as well. And the referee is going to book Ugarte for that tough challenge. 56th minute, our first caution's been issued.
Welcome to the game, Mr. Mertz. That was not a tackle that felt very good for him. Ugarte came sliding in, studs up, really both feet.
Oof. Not a kind ankle, not a kind angle, I should say, on that tackle for Ugarte. Studs were certainly high up on the leg of Mertz, but just a caution for the Legion midfielder. And Kayazil misplayed that a little bit, but luckily it fell only to Greenspan.
I think that's the first missed touch or mistake of any kind for him. He's been really solid tonight, really simple with the ball, but very consistent in his performance.
Ugarte, one touch for Ward. Can't quite connect with Arivo. Arivo, they're able to win it regardless. Williams trying to get around the defender unsuccessfully.
Keem Ward showing his athleticism there. He was way up in the air to win that ball.
Brett onside, flag stays down. Spangenberg out to deal with it. Still Brett with an opportunity. Spangenberg deflects it wide.
Really good save on the first play from Spangenberg, and then he did extremely well to get back up and in front of the, I think what was a cross, not a shot at the end, but really good athleticism from him as well.
Second look at it, Brett did well to keep his run on side, a collision there. And Spangenberg just able to get a piece of Brett's second effort.
On second look, I think that was a shot. I think that goes down as a save.
First corner of the second half for the visiting Riverhounds, who continue to knock on the door. They haven't gone through it yet, though. Low driven service flicked towards the 6-yard box. Williams chested out of play.
JJ has cleared almost every single ball on these corner kicks. He's been the man defensively so far tonight.
Williams, a massive body, just 21 years old, but the Alabama native has been awfully important on these set pieces for Pittsburgh tonight. Forbes readies himself for another delivery. Williams gets another head to this one. And that's going to be a goal kick for Legion as Forbes' ball curved over the end line before coming back into play. And it looks like that's going to be all for J.J. Williams tonight as Brian Wright is ready to come on.
I thought we'd see this change at some point. A like-for-like change. Brian Wright, another big, powerful, athletic center forward. J.J. Williams, who's had a pretty good game tonight, especially on the defensive side of things, but just getting some rest before the all-important match on Wednesday.
So the Columbus Crew loanee heads out. The New England Revolution loanee comes in. Wright for Williams is Legion's second change this evening. And a nice ovation down below from the home crowd for the efforts of the Alabama native. So Williams' night comes to a close here in the 60th minute as action resumes with a goal kick from Spangenberg. Sarah sends it forward. Mabiala with a glancing header. Fans Birmingham Legion FC entrust the care of its athletes to UAB Sports Medicine Team, and you should too. All of our doctors are fellowship trained and have extensive experience caring for patients of all ages. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a competitive athlete, come to UAB Sports Medicine so we can help get you back to your active lifestyle. Brett's edge of the area, lays it off for James. His left-footed delivery over the top of everybody.
Great composure from Akeem Ward, brings it down with his chest and just leaves it for Trevor Spangenberg. Good vision, good composure.
Spangenberg rolls it out for Ben Kusera. 25-year-old making his first career professional starts in USL Championship play this evening. And Femi Hollinger-Jansen have done the job to this point as the center back pairing. James looking for Brett. Kusera got there instead. Forbes has Dover to his right, instead cuts it back inside. Now gives it out wide for Dover. Dover, a first-time ball, well off the mark.
First half, Riverhounds came down the left side a lot. Ryan James was involved all the time. The second half, it's been a lot more of Dover getting into the attack, but his final touch, his cross, his final pass hasn't been quite as good.
Daniel Johnson's night comes to a close here in the 61st minute as Legion make one more change. And a nice ovation for Daniel Johnson as Daigo Kobayashi returns for Birmingham Legion FC. Kobayashi, a sight for sore eyes for the Legion supporters. The experienced midfielder at 36 years young. Played quite a bit for Birmingham Legion the early part of this year.
He's been out with an injury for quite a while. Before the injury, he was one of the most technical players on the field. Great passer of the ball, reads the game unbelievably well. It's good to see him back on the field.
First appearance for Kobayashi since August 3rd against Ottawa Fury. When he checks in here, as Legion have made all three of their changes, Kobayashi, Wright, and Aravo. Pittsburgh, of course, still have 2 changes at their disposal with less than a half hour left. Wright tried to leave it for Holland. Holland ran onto it. Wins Legion a throw. Ugarte back towards the direction of Holland or Jansen. See if Pittsburgh pick up the pressure here as the clock begins to work against them. Here's Mertz. Out wide for James. James has his pass deflected by Mabiala. Throw coming for Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Riverhounds have stuck with their game plan. They've stuck with the same formation. I think somewhere in the next 10 or 15 minutes, if they don't get the goal that they need, we'll see them just push a couple players up a little bit higher, play with the same 3 in the back, but turn those outside backs really into outside wingers and not ask them to come back and defend as much. They have nothing to gain with a tie, everything to gain with a win. They're going to have to be the ones to take some risks.
Wright combines well with Kobayashi. Kobayashi looking up top for Wright, who's able to hold off Menke Azil. Still Brian Wright, edge of the area, goes down, referee waving away.
A little bit of a push, but Brian Wright's such a big man, he doesn't get very many of those calls, and I do think he went down just a little too easily on that one.
Excellent first touch from Wright to hold off the defender, and immediately the hands went up in the air for Mohamed Dabo.
There's a little bump. I think Brian Wright was trying to sell it for all it was worth. The referee was right on the spot, wasn't giving it.
Fans, the road to the 2019 USL Championship Final begins next week with the play-in games Wednesday, October 23rd, followed by a full slate of conference quarterfinals beginning Saturday, October 26th. For specific match dates and times, visit uslchampionship.com and tune in for every minute of playoff action on ESPN+. Birmingham Legion will be one of those teams playing in that play-in round on a Wednesday. Pittsburgh will get their playoff run underway next weekend as either the number 1 or the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. We've already talked about what's on the line. With a win tonight, Pittsburgh Riverhounds are the number 1 seed, clinch home field advantage throughout, which would be awfully important for a team that did not drop a home contest in 2019. Dos Santos, and it was handled by Kobayashi behind him. Free kick given from that spot.
Both these teams have been really, really exciting stories for 2019. Legion coming in, you have no idea what to expect with an expansion club. The first half of the season, they just couldn't find the goal. They couldn't score goals. They couldn't win games. Really, everybody thought that this was going to be a very tough year for them. Instead, they go on a 9-game unbeaten string, beating almost all the top teams in the conference, finish strong again, and put themselves in the playoffs. And Pittsburgh, who's been a solid club for so many years and have had so much success, but in the middle of the season, they were in the middle of the pack. And I don't think anybody thought that they were going to be the team winning the Eastern Conference, but they control their own destiny. They can have the home field advantage.
As Brett's free kick goes just above the crossbar.
2 really good stories.
Nico Brett in the end, not troubling Trevor Spangenberg. As we hit the 67th minute in downtown Birmingham, Alabama tonight. Velarde getting some final instructions from head coach Bob Lilly. Looks like he's going to be the next change for the Riverhounds. Anthony Velarde will be the second change for Pittsburgh. Wright trying to hold off Adewale. Foul given as Wright took a blow to the head.
Brian Wright is so strong and he uses his body so well. Once he's got possession, the only way to get it from him is to foul him.
Like he knocked heads briefly there with Adewale. Legion restart play on the other side of the park with Akeem Ward. Ward beats a defender, chips it forward towards Wright, doesn't quite get there. Ward back with it at his feet, cuts it inside. Couldn't quite beat the second defender or connect with Holland, and off and running are Pittsburgh. Benkei Azil pushing forward from his center back position. Out wide for Nico Bretz. Into the area, driven shot all the way across the frame.
Really tough angle, but I think he was going for goal.
Once again, in the end, Trevor Spangenberg, not trouble. Legion's second choice keeper has played quite well so far this evening. As he gets ready to send away another goal kick. Fans, don't forget there's only one place where you could choose what kit Legion FC wore today in their season finale against Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That's the Birmingham Legion FC app, available on both iOS and Android platforms. The Legion FC app is your home for Legion news, tickets, and other information pertaining to Birmingham Legion FC. Download it today, the Birmingham Legion FC app, the only app that says hammer down. Stoppage here lets Pittsburgh make their second change of the night, as Anthony Velarde does indeed check in. Mohamed Dabu's night comes to a close here in the 69th minute.
Riverhounds have taken off a defensive midfielder and added a really attack-minded player.
One final change to make for the Riverhounds over the last 20-plus minutes. Mabiala connects with Holland on the far side of the park. Velarde, the newest Riverhound on, the 23-year-old from Fresno Pacific. Played his college soccer at the D2 level. But he's made now 25 appearances for Pittsburgh this season. Sarah goes to ground, wins the challenge, and keeps possession. James might have gotten away with a handball there. Referee lets it go, and here comes Brian Wright, going right through two defenders. Brian Wright still moving forward. It's Wright with an opportunity. Morton is there.
First real chance of the second half for Legion FC. Brian Wright just motoring through everybody on his way to goal. Morton handled it pretty comfortably in the end.
Wright scored the opening goal of Legion's win over New York Red Bulls 2 last time out. He scored 6 times in 2019 and looked like a one-man wrecking crew there. 70 minutes gone, 20 minutes plus stoppage time left. Early delivery doesn't quite get to Brett. Velarde runs onto it, couldn't get it off his boot, and Kucera sends it away before Dos Santos got there. Still Pittsburgh with it. Here's Forbes connecting with Velarde. Dos Santos. Out wide for Brett. Delivery well beyond everybody. Everyone making near post runs.
Sarah, Hollinger Jansen have not played side by side all season long, but they've done a really nice job tonight. Been a few missed touches, a couple of passes that have gotten away from them. But overall, they've done a great job.
Tough challenge there from Greenspan, and it's going to draw a caution as Mabiala is down in a heap. First yellow card issued to Pittsburgh tonight as Greenspan goes in the book. And Mabiala slowly gets to his feet.
That was an awkward one. Just as he was receiving the ball, he got hit pretty hard in the back.
Just a tough challenge. Mabiala had no way to brace himself. Didn't really know that Greenspan was that close to him. Now each side's been assessed a yellow card caution tonight. It'll be Eric Avila to take this set piece opportunity. Legion with 6 bodies forward. All hovering around the edge of the penalty area. Avila with a low delivery. Greenspan heads it away. And it's all the way back beyond the midway line for Ugarte. Fans, don't forget you can continue to watch and enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. USL is excited to announce the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, as Hollinger Jansen is taken down by Kennardo Forbes. 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus, as Forbes shows some sportsmanship and checks on Hollinger Jansen to make sure he's all right.
Last few minutes, we're starting to see a little frustration creeping into the game for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. A couple of tough fouls, late fouls. They want this game to be played at a high pace. Legion just keeps slowing it down and taking their time on every one of these free kicks and fouls.
Just over a quarter hour left. Legion's defense has certainly bent, but they have not broken to this point. And if the results were to hold, Nashville would be the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. You can see there on the left side of your screen, even some Nashville supporters have made their way down to the contest tonight, trying to give a little extra support to Birmingham. Here's Arevo. Gives it away. Throw in coming, though, for Legion.
The Nashville fans will be the happiest if the result stands. The 1 point from the tie doesn't do any good for Legion FC, and it definitely doesn't do any good for Pittsburgh. It does a ton of good for Nashville FC.
Here's Mertz. Connects with Velarde. Velarde off and running with plenty of space. Gets around Hollinger Jansen. Still Velarde going. Velarde with an opportunity. Centers it, but no one's home. Excellent run there by Anthony Velarde. He's got 4 assists to his credit in 2019, but nobody was running onto that opportunity. Hollinger Jansen sends away another cross. Velarde gets an overlap from James. Opts not to take it. Benkei Azil is pushed all the way up from his center back slot. A good delivery. Hollinger Jansen had to deal with it, and in the end, cedes a corner.
Pittsburgh has served a lot of crosses into the box this second half, but Legion are a pretty good team in the air, especially with Ben Cassera at 6'4", Femi Hollinger Jansen, who's about 6'1", but very athletic. Akeem Ward, not the biggest guy in the field, but again, very athletic, and they've handled the crosses really well so far tonight.
Pittsburgh have had their share of corners tonight, and nothing will come of that one as it's mishits by Velarde.
That's the side I want you taking him. Robbie on the other side.
7 corners for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Birmingham have done enough to deal with each of them to this point. Spangenberg bleeds the clock a little bit longer. No, I'll go get that ball off the pitch. It's fine. No trouble for me whatsoever.
These are the moments that really frustrate teams that want the game to move quickly, whether you're trailing or in this case tied but need to win. Every little second just feels so big and so frustrating as you see it tick off the clock.
Are you saying there was ulterior motives there? Spangenberg's not just a nice guy?
Well, he is a very nice guy, but I'm not sure that he's going that slow to be helpful.
77th minute. Still a scoreless draw being played between Birmingham and Pittsburgh. Blake Gardner alongside Mike Getman. Glad to have you with us. Whether you're watching in the Magic City, the Steel City, or somewhere in between. Arevo thought he was fouled from behind. Referee says play on the other direction. Here comes Brett. The Jamaicans off and running towards the edge of the area. Tried to get it to Dos Santos. Instead, it was Ugarte who comes up with a much-needed interception.
Pittsburgh's going to have to find one of 2 things if they want to win this match. They're going to have to get behind the defense, typically by getting it wide and then playing in behind, or combining right at the top of the box, maybe a 1-2 to find a player with an open shot. just serving early crosses has not done much for them tonight.
Here's Brett, lays it for Mertz. Back out wide, Dover. And Forbes on that end. Forbes finds Mertz. Combination play on the far side of the park. Can anything come of it? Not this time. Hollinger Jansen was there. Forbes back to Greenspan. And really, it's just two center backs now for Riverhounds as Van Kaziel is pushed up into midfield. Bit of a tactical change from head coach Bob Lilly, trying to push a few more numbers forward.
They've pushed people forward, but what they haven't done is taken anybody on 1v1. They've got it wide and then serve balls in.
Here's Brett, leaves it for Dos Santos, a golden opportunity and a great play by Spangenberg, possibly the play of the night.
Trevor Spangenberg single-handedly keeping Nashville as the #1 seed tonight. I don't know if they give out an MVP award or not, but Nashville may invite him up to their banquet at the end of the season.
Phenomenal play by Spangenberg to keep us level. Eighth corner of the night for Pittsburgh. Driven low, flicked on just beyond the back post. Pittsburgh must feel snake bitten. They've had their share of chances. They've had their share of shots. They've found the targets. But so far, Birmingham has kept out the Riverhounds. Another aerial duel won by the Riverhounds. Forbes frees Mertz. Mertz leaves it for Brett. In a foot race against Hollinger Jansen, Brett gets there first. But his pass is cut out by Holland. Can Legion continue to hang on and keep the donut on the scoreboard? Or will Pittsburgh eventually pierce this Legion defense?
Last 10 or 15 minutes have been all one-way action. It's almost offense, defense like you would in practice.
Avila sends that one over the end line just to be safe with Velarde behind him. Does kind of have that feeling, right? All the action on one side of the park. Yet another corner coming for Pittsburgh. Back post ball this time, too far beyond Dos Santos.
First half, all the corners got served right to the center of the six. J.J. Williams won every one of them and headed them out. Since then, they've served some near, some far, but they haven't put any balls right in the mixer. And none of them have been a real challenge in this second half for Legion FC.
Bob Lilly and this Riverhounds club still searching for answers. With less than 10 minutes to go tonight. Dos Santos trying to get around Ugarte. Ugarte able to hold him off. And here comes Legion. Mabiala, first touch failed him just a bit. Ugarte couldn't quite get it to Holland as the head of Dover got there first, but it is a throw coming for Legion. And a good shift from Jordan Dover tonight, the 24-year-old who prepped at the University of Wisconsin Green Bay. Got some caps for Guyana in the 2019 Gold Cup. Dover wins the ball and gets it out to Mertz as well, but Mertz gives it away. Here's Holland, turns, beats one man, went through the legs of another, and a foul is given.
Yeah, once he went through the legs, they just decided to pull his shirt and hold him back, not going to let him run by.
Legion take the free kick quickly here. Now the 83rd minute for BBVA Field. Avila couldn't quite loft it over the top of James, and a throw in coming for Pittsburgh. And Kay Azil takes it quickly. And a whistle and a stoppage, and is it a violation? It was against Van Kay Azil on that throw in. Linesman brought it all the way back.
You don't see that very often at this level. I'm not sure if he stepped onto the field or lifted his back foot as he threw it in, but either way, you don't see too many illegal throw-ins called.
Gorgeous shot of the Magic City skyline tonight. Just an absolutely perfect night for soccer as we close out this 2019 regular season. And a foul given behind the play as Wright crashed into Greenspan. Referee originally pointed as a foul against Pittsburgh. Instead, it's going to be against Gael Mabiala. Now a bit of housery behind the play.
Referee got the call right, but Pittsburgh wants to get on with it as quick as they can. The referee wants to make sure everybody's okay. No question the foul there was from Gael Mabiala. Good sportsmanship between the two players, giving each other a hand up.
Morton sends it forward. Morton hasn't had a whole lot to do here in the second half. Greenspan wins it back right off the chest of Dos Santos, who brings it down, but not before Ugarte can get the second touch. Mabiala. Forbes fights off Arivo. Arivo slings him to the ground and a foul given. Once again, Riverhounds want to get on with it. Arivo making sure they can't do that straight away. Our referee tonight, Kevin Broadley, says no more of that from Arivo. Seven bodies forward for Riverhounds on this free kick. Ricochets in the area, shouts for a handball, referee says no. And Legion able to clear their lines defensively. Here comes Wright. Wright couldn't quite get around James. Ball forward towards Dos Santos, who was onside, but Dos Santos couldn't bring it down with a first touch.
He's such a technical player. I'm really surprised he didn't bring that ball down. 9 times out of 10, he'd have a great first touch and probably smash it in the back of the net, but this time he just couldn't seem to find it right.
Shots of a handball, maybe not altogether unwarranted. Hollinger Jansen might have gotten a piece with that with his right hand based on the look we just got.
Looks like it hit him in the hand. His hand was down by his side, and I think that's probably why the referee let the play continue.
Spangenberg sends it away once more in the 86th minute. The final match of the 2019 campaign. Still scoreless between Birmingham and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh playing a full choice lineup tonight. Birmingham Legion made a host of changes in an effort to rotate and get ready for their play-in round match this coming Wednesday. But at home, Birmingham Legion, despite playing without a bulk of their regulars, have held tough against one of the top teams, if not the top team in the East.
Regardless of the final score here tonight, this will be a real confidence boost for Legion FC. Got a lot of guys who haven't played very many minutes that are really having outstanding games. Marcos Ugarte has been fantastic in defensive midfield. Ben Kucera, who's barely played this season, has been dominant in the air and helping to keep the shutout. Trevor Spangenberg has had an incredible night tonight, making so many big saves. And you're playing, whether they're the first seed or the second seed, you're certainly playing one of the top teams in the entire league. And so far, at least, you're keeping the shutout.
Spangenberg sends it away as Pittsburgh have their third and final change prepped and waiting for the next stoppage. It's Mark Forrest who will come on momentarily. And the word down below is it's going to be Jordan Dover who will come off. Dover plays it out wide for Mertz. Mertz's service a bit too close to the top of the 18-yard box. Avila dealt with it. Still Riverhounds with numbers forward. Canardo Forbes Out wide once again for Dover. Dover another delivery. Brett flicks it on. Spangenberg once again, full extension to knock it away from the face of goal.
Really good cross into the box, good flick on. But once again, Spangenberg is there to make the play.
Velarde out wide for James. James gets a low delivery away. Ugarte sends it away from danger.
Legion looking really tired right now. They've chased all over the field for 90 minutes. A lot of these guys have not been playing this long, all season long.
Third and final change is ready, and it is indeed Dover who makes way for Mark Forrest. Forrest, the 22-year-old from Lehigh, is a 4th round pick by Chicago Fire in the latest MLS Super Draft. And it's going to be Forrest who takes this throw in.
He's got a really long throw. I don't know if that's the reason they brought him on, but it is like having another corner.
Aravo heads it away. Legion for the moment clear their lines defensively as we play in the 89th minute. Time ticking away from Pittsburgh and their chance at the #1 overall seed. Another lofted ball in. Flag stays down, and the header is right at Spangenberg. Dos Santos can't believe it.
The whole Riverhounds team was up off the bench. They thought that was their chance.
Pittsburgh have had so many opportunities tonight, over 20 shots. And Spangenberg's seen quite a few of them on goal, but to this point, he's kept them out. Aravo brings it down, tries to turn, does so, plays it out wide into space. Mabiala can't run it down. Second look at the saves from Spangenberg. Here was the first one on the flicked header. Lovely play by the Legion keeper, and then on the header by Dos Santos, Spangenberg to the rescue once again.
When you get a header at the top of the 6, you think you're going to score.
Spangenberg with more work to do. It's into the mixer. Legion have to send it away. Still numbers forward at the edge of the area. Another long ball. It's headed towards the face of goal, and it's in! The substitute, Mark Forrest, gives Pittsburgh Riverhounds the lead in the 90th minute. And finally, Legion's defense has been broken.
Legion are going to be really disappointed with that, and Trevor Spangenberg in particular came for the cross, couldn't quite get to it, left the goal unprotected. He's had such a good night. He's made so many big saves. That one he just couldn't quite get to, and the ball rolls into the empty net.
Forrest came on in the 88th minute, and he finds the net in the 90th. And Pittsburgh Riverhounds lead by a count of 1-0. As the 4th official indicates, there are 3 minutes minimum of stoppage time. Our stoppage time is brought to you tonight by UAB Medicine.
I can hear the air getting sucked right out of the entire city of Nashville as they see their #1 seed go down the drain right at the very end of this match.
Pittsburgh certainly must feel like they deserve the breakthrough. They had been knocking on the door nearly all night. And it's Pittsburgh who lead with just stoppage time left. Legion now assuredly locked into that #10 seed. Still a chance, perhaps, to level the scoreline at 1-1. Here's Kobayashi. Cuts it inside, looking for help, gets some with Holland. Those two combine. Kobayashi shipped it to the top of the area, nobody home. First goal of the year for Mark Forrest, and what a time to find the back of the net.
Legion will be disappointed with the result, but they're not going to be disappointed with the effort or the performance of this group of players. These guys have really worked hard. They've defended really well. Spangenberg has had a brilliant night. One unfortunate play at the very end, but he has been the man of the match. He's been the story of this game so far.
Spangenberg really the only reason Legion have been in it to this point. But Mark Forrest beats him in the 90th minute. And Pittsburgh Riverhounds just moments away.
I'm not sure what Bob Lilly would have told him, but I'm guessing it's something like, son, you've only got a couple minutes. Go out there and find a way to make a difference. And boy, has he done that.
Into our 93rd minute of action tonight. Just a few moments left as the Riverhounds have a throw. They'll take their time in taking it. And that is full time. The final whistle from BBVA Field, and Pittsburgh Riverhounds are your regular season Eastern Conference champions. They have the #1 seed and home field advantage throughout the 2019 Eastern Conference playoffs.
Well, I know who's going to get free drinks for the next year or so in Pittsburgh. Every soccer fan around is going to want to buy that young man a drink.
Mark Forrest goal in the 90th minute, the difference this evening as Pittsburgh Riverhounds close out a 3-point performance tonight on the road to put them on 68 points for the year. Just one more than Nashville's 67. And now our seeds are locked up in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. We'll take a timeout, preview the playoff picture at its fullest when we return to BBVA Field. But it's full time. Pittsburgh Riverhounds 1, Birmingham Legion 0.
At Red Diamond, we've spent 112 years searching the world for the perfect beans. Your search will be considerably shorter. Red Diamond. Expect perfection. Available at a grocer near you. When your taste buds demand greatness, nothing compares to Red Diamond coffee. Unless, of course, it's Red Diamond tea. No shortcuts, no skimping. Perfect's not easy. Red Diamond. Available at a grocer near you.
Welcome back to the scene at BBVA Field. Both sides happy. After a successful 2019 campaign, Pittsburgh Riverhounds get a full 3 points from tonight's contest. Pittsburgh now the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. Birmingham Legion locked into that #10 spot as we get a look at the final match stats from this evening. And Mike, it just felt like Pittsburgh Riverhounds were eventually going to find a breakthrough, and the 90th minute they did.
You've got 23 shots, 11 of them on target. You certainly expect you're going to score a goal. All the rest of the stats mean nothing. Really, the stat of the day is Mark Forrest 1, Birmingham Legion 0. Somebody buy that man a Pepsi. He has earned it. The champagne is going to be flowing in both locker rooms tonight. Legion FC have to be excited about being in the playoffs in their first year ever. And Pittsburgh winning the championship for the Eastern Conference, getting it done in the very last moment really a very good night for both teams.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds are going to be at home as long as they're alive in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and that is a massive thing for the Riverhounds, who did not lose at home this year at Highmark Stadium. Certainly the Steel Army and the rest of the Riverhounds supporters are going to be extremely pleased and will be looking forward to this upcoming weekend. Meanwhile, Birmingham Legion with a quick turnaround this upcoming Wednesday to get their 2019 Eastern Conference playoff push started, as it'll be Birmingham Legion officially now on the road to take on North Carolina FC. That is the match that comes your way on a Wednesday night, a part of a pair of Eastern Conference playoff matchups. The other will feature Charleston Battery going north to take on Ottawa Fury FC. Mike, it should be fun.
It's going to be a great Wednesday. You don't usually get to watch games that matter this much on a Wednesday night. Legion FC fans are going to be really excited going to North Carolina, a team that they've already beaten once in the year, so they certainly will go with some confidence, and they got to rest some players going into it tonight, so I think they're going to feel really good about Wednesday night.
All smiles from BBVA Field tonight for both sides, and for our viewers in Pittsburgh, that'll do it for tonight's broadcast. Pittsburgh Riverhounds 1, Birmingham Legion FC 0. For the rest of us here in Birmingham and those watching on ESPN Plus, enjoy this look back at Birmingham Legion's inaugural campaign in 2019. For Mike Getman and our entire crew, I'm Blake Gardner saying so long for the Magic City, where the final score tonight was Pittsburgh Riverhounds 1, Birmingham Legion 0.
Beauty! The Legion level it less than a minute after the last goal. Wright crossing. The chance is in. It's Chandler Hoffman feeling at home again in Louisville. The Legion have their first ever lead. Over the top. Wright! Brian Wright, brilliant finish. Birmingham leads final minutes. Is this their first three-point performance? J.J. Williams! Gets that six-yarder, and the header comes in! And Birmingham have put 3 past St. Louis FC away from home.
Here's a chance for Kassim, who puts it in! In the dying moments, Legion have stolen a win here at home, and what a way to score their first goal in front of the home crowd as Kassim does a full lap around the park, knowing he secured 3 points for his side tonight. Johnson teeing up a right-footed shot, and he puts it in! What a strike from Johnson, we're level! Oh my goodness, Daniel Johnson, you can't be serious.
Great job to spring himself free, and then what a shot.
It's the captain, Chandler Hoffman, to take it. A chance here in the 92nd. He levels the match. Hoffman, coolly and collectively puts it in the corner. We're knotted at 2. Johnson trying to play diagonally. Perfectly weighted. Ball. Right. Another good ball, and it's fallen for Lopez.
Johnson wins. Now a chance here for Birmingham. And there's a tying goal from 25 yards out. And it's that man, Prosper Kassim.
Win possession back only momentarily. Here's Hoffman. Hoffman top of the area. Chandler Hoffman.
Little hesitation move to freeze the defender, and then just bent it into the far side netting. Great goal.
Here's Lopez teeing it up. Mikey Lopez. 2-2. Cromwell picks his head up. Wright dummies it through. Still running onto it. Chandler Hoffman puts it in. Legion get there first of the night.
Pushing numbers forward in droves. Kobayashi trying to pick out Brian Wright. Wright brings it down. Wright puts it in. Brian Wright with his second goal in Legion black and gold, and he's given the home side an advantage with just 12 minutes left.
He was giving up some goals. They want to get after them early and try and put them under
That's
pressure.
in the back of the net. Brian Wright. Johnson gets around one man. Daniel Johnson in on goal. It's Daniel Johnson. Williams, a left-footed shot, partially deflected and in.
You could tell as soon as he got that ball, he wanted to cut it back onto his left foot.
Zasiedu through to Poku. A Poku shot is in! Off the top of the crossbar and in, and it's Eddie Poku who's broken the deadlock. Legion 1, Tampa Bay Rowdies 0.
Right, back towards Johnson. Johnson with a chance. Daniel Johnson!
Ward on the edge of the area. Centers it back to the top of the area. Kassim puts it in! The early strike from Prosper Kassim. Avila's second service is driven low. Williams puts it in! How about that from J.J. Williams? Avila, good delivery. Right into the mix. It falls for Kassim. His right-footed effort deflected, and Lopez off the Cara puts it in. Legion back in front.
Early on for Birmingham, cut back and a poke, and it's in 3.5 minutes. Big right and in. Some room, has to turn it back out. Chip back into the area, headed and in.
Dealt with it. Ward with a second opportunity. Right, centers it and puts it in. And Birmingham Legion are on the board first in the 11 with a giveaway inside their own penalty area. And Birmingham Legion makes them pay.
Here comes Johnson. Johnson trying to thread it through to Wright. Wright's able to get there. It's Brian Wright in on goal. He circles the keeper, and Legion lead. Kassim, an early chance. Kassim converts the early chance.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.